Hello, welcome to my MyWebUniversity free educational videos. Today is 4th of July, so I hope you all have a great, happy and wonderful 4th of July with your nice families and wonderful friends and families that are getting together, maybe celebrating 4th of July. I hope you all have a great time. And by the way, one more time, 4th of July is awesome because you are celebrating an Independent Day, and then it's always been great to have freedom for our country, I'm very happy that we have it. So on this day, I'm going to just present you the third part of chapter 4. And this is the welcome page that I have as a banner. And you're welcome to go to YouTube channel, which I'm going to go next to this URL. And that URL is going to just be this screen. And I minimize this window. And this screen is basically my MyWebUniversity free educational videos that I'm going to post all the videos there for you to start learning. I've already posted a summary of chapter 4, which is the entire thing all together, but in a short form. And then, as I mentioned on the previous videos, I already did chapter 4, part 1 and part 2. As you can see, this video is part 1 and this video is part 2. So that is part 2, and I'm going to do the part 3 now. In order to do the part 3 now, I want to show you exactly what is the latest documentation and command lines availability for you on the website. So if you go to mywebuniversity.com for the table of contents presents on the main page, then you can go to chapter 4, and chapter 4 is basically in this chapter, and it has some kind of details of the videos that I have already posted as well, and some of the videos. So just let me go to the main page. If I go to the main page here on the home page, basically the home page is coming with my MyWebUniversity free education videos. All of these videos I have posted already it's on YouTube. Please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. By subscription, you will get the latest updates. So there's a table of contents on the next page, which is all the chapters, chapter 1 through 4. I'm not going to go through all the chapters. I'm going to just open up chapter 4, which I had already opened here. And you can see that some of the Google ads shows up here. You're welcome to just read and find out and click on the banners that is maybe most interest you. And if you don't, you can just read the documentation and manual pages, everything that I'm providing here, as well as the videos. You can watch them or just practice UNIX. So if you go on chapter 4, all of these commands that are about 88 commands, with some examples having 10, some of them 20, some of them 5. They're like more than several hundred commands that you can, with examples, you can practice on chapter 4. And there are advanced Linux or Unix commands, mostly Linux Ubuntu. There's a what is section for each of the command. There's a man pages that shows you the manual pages. And the manual pages, I'm producing it with a Python program on the server because it's Linux Ubuntu, and I'm running this basically the web server on a Linux Ubuntu, and I'm generating these dynamically. As you type in the command, you will get the output accordingly. There's not a static documentation for all these man pages that are showing up on this list. So on part 1 of chapter 4, we discussed the first row, and then part 2 was the second row. Now we are on part 3, which is starting on third row, the pkill command up to the env. So let me just show you exactly on the PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to do a slideshow here. Let me do a slideshow under the view, and then slideshow normal. So we are going to start from the beginning. This is again my welcome to MyWebUniversity.com. On this session, I'm going to just go over the main page of the website as well as show you the YouTube channel where you can subscribe it, which is MyWebUniversity free education videos on YouTube. Once you subscribe, you will get the latest update. And if you don't subscribe, you're welcome to just make comments on the YouTube. If there's any improvement or anything that you like me to do better or concentrate on, I will do that. The search for any Linux manual pages is the Python program that I wrote that actually generates dynamically the man pages or manual pages on the website. So again, this is the table of contents. We're discussing chapter 4. So this is chapter 4 basically. And then I'm making this presentation a little bit neat because some of you might be looking on a website, actually watching the video on a cell phone or a smaller computer. So I made the font a little bit bigger so you can see everything in a nicer format. And then we're going to just discuss the third row, which is pkill. So I'm going to just have this one. The discussion of the topic is today is not user add, not type, because those first and second one was covered, is this one, pkill. Pkill, pmap, gzip, process tree. PS3 stands for process stream tree. It is not PS process tree. Process stream tree because it's the stream. It comes as a stream, and then there's a trace command on Solaris. The equivalent that one is trace, stream trace on there, and then there's a process tree, like I was just showing you, and Solaris is P3, and here we call it PS3. But Linux or open source community did not decide to put a S in front of everyone. None of these commands like pmap or and WDX doesn't have a S in front of him. So you have to look at the syntax of the way that they named it, and you have to run that command as well. So grep is another one, which is stand for global regular expression print. There's 3 types of grep you can do. Grep is for piping, and I'm going to show you the details of it later. When long time ago, 1969, at Bell Laboratory, Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, they were just building the AT&T version of UNIX. They needed to just use the piping. The idea of piping was introduced back then by them because they did not have enough memory to just read the data into memory content at one point. So they were just filtering some lines of on that same page that they were reading it. If they are reading 10 pages, they just needed to say, let me grep out only the portion that I need. And they were using this kind of concept of piping, which is the input of one command becomes the output of the second command, and so on. You could pipe it to a third line and a fourth command and a fifth command, and then grep out exactly what you're looking for. At some point, you might just be only interesting for one string, so you can do that string matching. But if the string is like 10 lines, still it's not going to fit in memory. At that time, memory was very small, maybe 1 MB or something. So now it's huge. You're not doing it, but every time you filter out these data, the optimization of your code is actually better because your code runs more efficient. So grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. Regular expression is a big topic, whether you do operating system level, Windows or Linux or Mac or Unix, or you're doing programming languages like Bash, shell scripting, op programming, or Python programming, or Java or C++. Regular expression is every time is a very neat concept. And normally when you learn regular expression, you also learn JSON formatting in XML and sometimes parsing it in HTML file and or some other format. Usually nowadays JSON, JavaScript object notation. So the egrep is extended grep, which is stand for expression grep or extended part of it. The expression grep is because you can run with the command this or that matching and not this and that, so you can do a lot of expression between your filtering. It stands for expression grep or extended grep. E stand for expression or extended, and grep is just stand for grep and global regular expression print. And then the fgrep is the fast grep. The reason it's fixed to a string, it is going to be much faster because you're just searching for a particular string, and it's called fixed or fast grep. And then set is equivalent to setenv commands, but it's showing you local variables, and then setenv is actually set is showing both local and global, and setenv is showing you the global variables. And similarly env environment. Services was the older version of Linux and Unix. Actually Linux, not Unix. Unix, unlike Solaris, they use SVCS, Service Management Facility, SVC ADM. But on Red Hat side and Linux and Ubuntu, on the old days, we were using services up to 6.6. After version 7, System D was introduced. And there's some other discussion that I'm going to have on this chapter: System D, System CTL, Firewall D. All of those ones will be discussed on one of these part 4 or 5 or 6, whatever I have it in the rows. ENV is for environment similar to setenv. So this is the topic that I'm going to be discussing on the website next. I'm going to go to the other commands. Like you can see, part 4 of chapter 8, chapter 4, part 4, System D is introduced there. And then we will cover Docker is introduced and other ones. And then part 5 is these other one, hostname CTL, like journal CTL. There's a lot of CTL commands on System D related. So we will cover those ones. And then the Debian packager, package managers, or also like part of the packages of Debian. There's a snap and there's apt. So I'll discuss those ones on one of these days. And this is the part 7, and the part 8 is the G core. So we will be discussing a lot of these ones next. And then and that was basically the man pages. And then please make sure that you subscribe at MyWebUniversity education videos. If you search on Google or YouTube for MyWebUniversity free educational videos, YouTube, basically, if you search it on YouTube, you will see that page that I was just showing you. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and do it. At this time, we're going to jump back out of this one, and we go to the actual website and start learning these commands. Okay, so now the command that we're going to cover, I'm going to just make this screen a little bit bigger, and I'll only point out to this pkill at the bottom. If I move it up a little bit, it's not going to be helpful because we could do like this. So if you look at the top for pkill, that would be the topic we are going to cover. And let me just make this screen a little bit bigger. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to cover. Pkill, pmap, gzip, pstree, grep, egrep, fgrep, setenv, services, and env. On this one, if you look at the pkill, for example, when you click on the pkill command, it says what is pkill, and it tells you that what is section of the man pages. It says a lookup or a signal process based on the name or other this. So if you're trying to kill a process, you can do a pkill on it, and it will just kill the process. And here is the man pages. So the man pages also common on my website for this one. And then you can see that pkill is there. If you want to do a pgrep for pgrep is similar to process grep. So in this case, you could do a pgrep of the process for root and other ones. So the man pages of pkill and pgrep is the same in there. And let me just make this screen is too big, because some of the things that are showing up, I can just move up and down with this, and you can read the entire page. So now notice that grep is this one to get it, and pkill minus hop. Minus hop means kill of with signal 1. Hop is the same thing, meaning that like let's say you're shutting down the syslog D here, it will stop all the services except the main one, and the main one will be reread from the syslog.conf file, and then it will gracefully restart it. That's the old style of let's say you want to restart Apache, you would do a kill -1 or kill -up Apache CTL now, or whatever the name of the process is. In this case, it's a syslog D, you could do that one. So pkill -hop is similar to kill -hop or kill -1. And then you can see that it is restarting the syslog D in this case. And then the other commands that are there with PS and renicing it, you can memorize it and learn it, and it's going to be useful to you because I'm covering some of those commands as well on other sessions. Basically, the PS shows you the process, and then the renice is to just change the priority on the how fast or how which one has the highest priority to run on the system, whether they're background or foreground, then foreground or higher priority, daemons or higher priority, and then some process, if you have higher priority on it, it will start on the system faster than other process that will run earlier. So let me go back to this page. So for the pkill, if I want to just go on the system, I need to just look at the process for here, and then just clear my screen, and then I want to just do it on the actually on this session because this is less privilege. So the less privilege is meaning that I can kill my own process, and I don't want to just kill a system process. If you're running it as root and you need to do it for Apache web server, yeah, you have to do that one with Apache web server as root. You cannot just use a regular ID here and say ps minus efa grep minus I Apache 2, and then just try to kill this process, which is a process. I mean, as I told you, that pkill and dash hub. So if I just do like pkill dash hub, and then this process is not going to do it because this process is owned by root. But if I say put a sudo in front of this command, sudo, and then I do a pkill minus hub and then do Apache 2, then it's going to just try to just close these processes, which would be one of it would be mine. I'm not going to do it. And then the next one is going to rerun this one. So my session, I don't want to stop it, but I could do it like here. Look, if I just run the top command here, I get the status of all these processes and which one is on the top priority. Remember, I was telling you about a nice, re-nicing like this one, changing the priority on those ones. So we will talk about top and htop on a different topic. Like htop is a much more graphical interface and everything. So you can just run these ones, but I will talk those ones on separate. Right now, I'm going to do a top and then ampersand. By doing top ampersand, I background that process on the background. But if I just do ps minus ef grep minus I top, then you could just say, okay, there's a process that is Wahid is running, Lutfi is running, and that's process ID this. So if I say pgrep and then top, and then you can see that process comes in. And then if I say pkill, and then just run top, process kill. Now let's just see if the pgrep shows up here. That process is still showing up because I did not do a -9 to terminate it. So the pkill is running a -15, a signal 15, meaning gracefully shut it down. Eventually it will be shut down. But if I want to force it, then I have to do a pkill -9 here. -9 to force it. Now let's say I checked it, it's gone. So this is there. So similarly, if I run htop ampersand, now notice that if I do ps minus ef grep minus I htop, and this time I'm gonna grep out my own grep command. Grep, remember we were using global regular expression. Every time you say -I, meaning that find out the htop, but ignore the case. So if the command has some uppercase characters, it still match it. And then grep minus V, and grep out my own grep, because I don't want my own grep to show up like here it shows up. So that is showing that the htop is a process with this. So now if I say pgrep, process grep, and then htop, you can see that it comes out the same process here. Now if I just say pkill minus hub, -1 hop, meaning that stop it and start it again, htop, this is going to just re-hop it. So if I just do the grep, that command is still there, the same one, and the process ID is there. So now I'm going to force it to just kill it. So if I do 15, it's not forced, it says gracefully. Eventually will shut it down. Notice that is just when you do a pkill without the 15, it's like you're saying the default is 15. But if I force it with 9, and then now I do a stop command, it's gone, and it shows that it is killed. So pgrep has a similar command like kill. -9 means force it. If you don't put any number, -15 or gracefully, and then -1 is just up to say that, okay, I'm doing it as root with Apache process. It will just, like if I look at here, ps -ef grep -I Apache 2 or syslog. So when you do these processes, some of the processes that are coming that are related to Apache, people visit your website, they come in with a lower user ownership, like data. But the main process that it starts, that one is root. So when you do a kill -up, it says close these other ones, or just reread the httpd.com file or and other configuration files related to SSL certificate, like SSL.com file or http-ssl.com file, all of those ones, read it, but then don't kill the process and just restart it. So I made some changes. It's like almost like doing systemctl restart Apache 2. It's going to stop and then restart it by reading the same configuration file. If there was some typo, the restart will not be working, or the kill -half would not be working. But normally, if you are running these commands, either you run it with sudo or higher privilege, and like you become root first and then do it. But if you're practicing something, you better practice it with lower ownership, and then making sure that you understand what you're doing. And it's always tested on development, read the manual pages before you actually do the work. So we did discuss that. Let's see, for the pkill, we went through some examples as well. And let's see the next one on the list, pmap, process map. Process map is really cool command, because everything that you want to know about the system, and then it will tell you that based on the process ID of the system. So if I just go back here and say pmap, so sorry, clear the screen. Pmap, my keyboard is a little bit moved to the right, and I was just typing the wrong character. Pmap and process ID 1. So now notice that process ID 1 is the system D. If I want to just see all the system D related process map, and the process memory map, it's just basically giving you the content of the memory, where the process is actually, or how much data it is being taken in terms of size, what kind of information it has, and what part of it's anonymous, where are the shared object files or library files that are there. All the details are there from like a memory footprint of the process, how it gets loaded. So you can not just do the system D, you can check for anything like Apache 2. Notice this process is 1836. I can do a pmap of 1838. Notice that if you just, on some system, you have to do a -p to say that I'm looking at that process. But on a Linux Ubuntu, you don't have to. Sometimes it asks you for this one, and then there's another command similar to this one, pwdx, the print working directory of that process. So if I just look for the one process, they all start from the root level. And then if I just start something here, say, let's say htop, and I'm on the directory I'm going to background it. And then now say ps -efa and grep -I htop. Notice that htop is running. Let's just do a grep out -v grep itself. So now we are running it. I'm going to clear the screen here. I'm going to run this one. And now the command that we were discussing here was just to see what pwdx of this process, which is 348448. And you can see that the print working directory of that one is var html, because I started from there. So if I do a pkill -9 and then say htop, now I go cd to this directory, and then I'm on the this. I run htop again, and I just do this, and then now I say pwdx of htop. I could do htop here. Let's see if I could just say pwd of htop. It just did not find out htop as a command. So if I do this htop, that would run the htop. I don't want to do that one. So I want to just say, okay, find out and ps -ef and grep -i htop, and then grep -v grep. Now it shows that one, but I want to just get that portion of it. So I could say awk and then print $2. That would give me this. Now I can do this one as an argument to that command, saying that pwdx and then a single backtick, because that backtick is going to just run that command, and it is gonna give me. As you notice that it is just this. So the argument of this input becomes the output of this one becomes the input of this command. So I get the pwd. Notice this one, I started from www right here, that directory. So if I just do similarly, like this command, and then do a pwdx, and then notice pwdx says, no, I do not understand that one, because I'm just looking for an output of this one. But you can do a filtering like this. Maybe this would work, but the backtick would definitely work, like I did. And then this one, no, it did not read that one. So you could also do a and then backtick here, but since we're doing a backtick on the echo, it doesn't make sense for you to just make your work harder. It does not make sense in that sense. So the first argument that we did here by doing pwd's htop, since htop was actually not running anymore, and so it did not make sense. So if I do htop here, backgrounded, and then do this command, now it works. Htop pw invalid process ID. So ps -ef and grep -i htop, and htop is two of them were running. Okay, because we were running with a pwdx on htop, it did not understood what is the process ID of one. So if I just want to do this one, I have to do like earlier I did. So backtick htop, and then I'll say actually ps -ef grep -i, and then htop, and then I could just say awk and the $2, and then that would give the $2 would be the command. But then I want to just get and this one say head -1. So this one will just exactly get the first one. And then I could do within this, and instead of head -1, I could just close my brace here, and I could say while read the var, and then undo. Now this time I say echo working on process ID of $var. Now, and then say at this time I could say pwdx $var, and then just say done. Somewhere I needed to close a brace. Oh yeah, right here I just used the backtick wrong. So let me just do the backtick right, and I just go here and the backtick here, and then there you go. The first one says no such process, but it found out that Sunny 2, and it says invalid process ID. Working on this one, invalid process ID. So let's see why it says invalid process ID. I'm going to just run the one without the while read var. Let me just clear the screen here. And then we just go here all the way to this to make sure that I have the data first. So it has those ones, that no such file or process, I don't need that one. So the first two, I need to get it. And the last one is something is there because I did not grep out for the grep -v grep. So you have to kind of filter it correctly. And when you say that if you didn't do a grep -v grep, it will be the same picture of giving you a process that is already run and it doesn't exist on the system, and it says no such process. But every time you do that one, since those other processes are on the system, it will show it. So now if we look at it, and then even if we just don't do this command, pwdx on it, pwdx, you can see that it was already done with as many top as it is there. So this one will just, you have to do without the backtick when you're just looking at it, because we wanted to give the feedback to the other script. And you can see that it is there. So if I run another htop on the background, and then look at this one, and then say, okay, show me those three, it will all do all those three. So one of the PS htop stopped, and that's okay. We could just see how many are there altogether. Now it's 3 of them. The previous one that was there, it is stopped. So now if I want to just do a pkill on them, I could do that one, but assuming that I have, instead of pwd, I could just do a pkill on them. So let's just do that one. Can I just do a pkill -9? -9 of those ones. And notice that it says there was one L. There's 2 L on kill. So that is pkill says that you are just giving the syntax wrong. Pkill -9, and then on the output of that one is just the process ID, not the actual command htop. So and the htop is this. You just basically say here htop. As simple as that. And then that would kill all the process of htop. So now if I just do the pwdx, it is no process anymore. But if I start another one, htop this, and then do the pwdx, it will work and show me the process ID of this and there. And then now, since the other one is done, clear the screen, you run this one, it shows there. So to kill this process, you go pkill -9 and then htop, because that's a string that it matches, not the process ID that you want to do. We could do a kill -9 on the process ID also. So if pwdx, now it doesn't show anything, so we cannot do that one because it needs a process ID. But if I start htop one more time, I'm going to do it so you understand exactly what I'm trying to explain. Htop here, and then now run the pwd, the process is there, because this one is showing previously a stop, but because we did a pkill here, but this other message is accurate. So if I just do run this one and then do echo $? You could see that it's zeros. So no matter how many times I do this one, the command will produce the same thing. Echo $? is 0, and it is successful because there is a process of htop that is running, ps -ef grep -I htop, and just do htop and then do a grep -v grep. You can see that process there. So this time I'm going to do a pkill on the process ID rather than do on the actual process, not pkill. I'm going to the kill. So I'm going to do a kill -9, and then this process ID, which is I could do the piping, or I could just paste it there. And now ps is not showing anything because we killed it. And then the pwdx is, again, if you run it, is not going to give you an output because pwd requires an argument of a process. You see that? pwd and then process ID. Since this one does not return a process ID, it doesn't do that one. But if I just change that one, when instead of this, I could just say, do show me for, let's say, Apache 2, you can see that all the process are coming here for Apache. Similarly, if we do a grep -I Apache 2, you can see that those process, the numbers are there. So if you are seeing the output of pwdx is saying that this is it is started from root. And if I just wanted to run that command with the Apache right here, and then I say awk, for example, print $2, and then you can see that these process IDs are exactly the process ID that are pwdx is showing. But pwdx is giving you, saying that they started from the root level. Print working directory of executable. That's what is pwdx. Well, I might have discussed it before, but because it was related to pkill and pmap and everything else, it is there. So you can also do a pmap on the process ID of pmap on the process ID of 1838. That will show all the process map there. And then remember this pwdx, and if we do Apache, let's do a pmap on that process ID. Pmap. You can see the pmap of this one, 5 more for each process is doing that one. But because it's kind of weird, it is not showing, you could do something like this. You could say ps -ef grep -I Apache 2 grep -v grep, and then awk, and then print $2. Now you have the process ID of all Apache processes. So what you want to do is say while read PID. So you put it into a variable called PID, you do a do and done. So within the do and done, you do some task. You say echo working on $PID now. And then after you close this one, you say, let's say you do a PWDX on it, and then say $PID, and then again you do a pmap on it. Pmap $PID and done. So I'm going to also type in like a time, like date, and then do a sleep 2 seconds, so we can read the data. It's not going too fast. I should have put up between PID and pmap, should have put a sleep 2 seconds, because the pmap is a longer command. It may just scroll faster. So now notice that 2 seconds it is giving us, but the process ID is also showing for the thing, and then where this starts. So if I move up here, and it's kind of a little bit too fast there. So what I could do is go up here and then correct my typing and put here another sleep 3 seconds. But make sure that you put a semicolon after your execution, because we had lines and now semicolon is going to do that. Notice this one, oh, there's some typo here. Sleep PWDX $PID, and then between pmap we want to do a sleep. We don't want to do a semicolon right after this. We want to do sleep 3 seconds, and then run another date, and then another and then pmap. Notice it says the first one is this 3 seconds, then it runs the date, then it shows the next process, and then the PWDX is basically showing they're all running from root. So we not only discussed PWDX or pmap or pkill or grep command, we showed you the while read var and writing a while statement, and then putting into variables and manipulating it. So now you should have a good understanding of these advanced commands. Let's go to the next one. And we already did that pmap. Now we're going to do the gzip. Gzip is a very useful command for compressing files. So you can save some storage, as well as you can just compress it and compress it with using tar tape archive command is another file, and then gzip to put it into zip format, and unzip is to unzip it, and zcat is also for compressing it, and then zcat also you can do cat content of a zip file with zcat, and then I put them all together in one man page. And here I'm showing you all the examples on the website, so you can read them, because I don't want somebody to just create tar files or zip files on the server. So I want them to just understand it, read it, and then whenever they want to do a backup or tape archive, and could do it. It's really useful. These commands are there, and I just was backing up my system, and I just did these things. So let me just show you a quick things with tar, gzip, and everything here. Let's say assuming that on the directory where I am here, okay, on the directory I'm going to go to HTML, and then let's say on the HTML file I want to just tar up everything that is start with zpool, for example. Those are my Solaris related stuff. So I want to just do zpool, and then if you look at that one, I just want to do a small portion, and then maybe also ZFS. So everything that is zpool and ZFS, and then also zone ADM, zone related things. So on Solaris, you can create Docker container kind of things called zone CFG and zone ADM, or related commands. I used to do those ones really extensively, and I had to create a logical domain and zones on a lot of the application that we were running. And then this was maybe 15 or 16 years have been Solaris have been providing that one logical domain also. And Docker was introduced maybe 6 or 5 years ago, or maybe actually 8 years ago or 7 years ago. And Docker does similar things that zone and logical domain does. And they're all neat stuff. And depending on what platform you have to learn the technology into it. So I'm going to just clear my screen here. In this case, these are the 3 that I want to put them into a tar gzip file. So if I just do this one, and instead of this ls command, I just create, say, tar cvf, C for creation, V for verbose, and F for files. So you could say zpool, and I could even give the same names like this: zpool, ZFS, and then zone. So like that, and then the tar, and that would just create those tar files. So now it says cannot stat on no such file or directory. And the zone, I think I mistyped it. So let me do ls minus l. The ls minus l for this one, it was Z for uppercase also. Yeah, now it is there. So let's just do the same thing again with zone star. And now the tarball file that is there, I'm going to remove this tarball file, is the archive not dumped. So let me just do this, remove it, and then clear the screen, and do this ls first command, this, and then now I'm going to just create the name, say tar cvf zpool. I'm going to put the z pool. I could just make it a little bit more intuitive, so that's why I say ZFS and then zone.tar. So do that. Notice there's no error, and echo $? is going to show that one. Now I have a zpool star.tar, this file that got created. If I want to look at the content of this file, all I have to do is tar tvf, and instead of cvf, I just created as a tar tvf, meaning that display. So now zpool dash zfs dash zone.tar, it will show that content of it. I can just get a portion of the file or something, extract it, and put it to another one. Let's just put this one into a gzip format. I'm going to say gzip, and then just give this a file name. Compress also works like that, and just now this file has the extension of .gzip, .gzip. And if I do a file this .gzip, star.gzip, let me just do zpool star.gzip. You can see this is just in compressed gzip format. And if I want to unzip it, unzip the same name, I could just get it, and then now the file is tar. And if I do file and that.tar, it will just say there's a tape archive, POSIX archive. So we put it into gzip, we unzip it. We could also put it in the gzip format, like earlier we did this one, gzip like this. And then now we just do ls-ld, the gzip format, and you can see file of that one is showing that it's compressed gzip file. And then if you want to extract it there, let's just make a directory called makedir testing. And then now under testing, I don't have anything, so I'm going to move this file and under the testing, and then just say put it into testing. So now I go cd to the testing. I have only one file here. I can do a extraction with gun unzip or tar minus xvz xvzf. Z meaning that unzip it as well. When you do the extraction, it does it. But let me just do it in one step. I mean two steps rather than one step. So this is a file that is in gunzip format. I say unzip or gun unzip star.gunzip. Since that's the only file now, I did it. Now I say file star tar. It is a tape archive. Now I say tar xvf star.tar. And then now in the file gets extracted, all these files gets here. If I want to just make a tarball backup out of it, since there's one file here, and I say rm_star.html, so now everything on the HTML is gone. Now I say gunzip zpool -zfs zone.tar. I put it in a gunzip format, but this time I'm going to do the tar minus xvzf. Z meaning that extracted, minus x means extracted, but z unzip it as well. So now I don't have to do it in two steps of gun unzip it and tar it, extract it, and now I do the whole thing in one shot. That is that one. Since I don't need anything in here, I can remove everything here, or m star, or I could just leave the testing directory blank and I'll leave this one, so I can just come back and do something with it. But I don't need it. I don't need to use extra space. I go rm star, and then the testing directory, I can leave it for any demonstration purpose. I have this testing directory, that's fine. Or if I just want to say remove the directory testing, that's gone. So I just did it another time that I needed, I created. So my system is exactly where I was before this demo. So now let's go back to the next one. So we covered a lot of these gunzip, unzip, and then the zcat is also similarly. If you have a file that is .gunzip, you can zcat on it to just look at the content of it. And then man zcat, notice that it's going to give you a lot of details here with all the information, what you can do with it, and run it in quiet mode or something. And you can see here, it's just gunzip. Let's just look, cut this file together, and then pipe it into gunzip, and then put it into foo. Then you say that the gunzip minus c content of file one, and then compress these two into foo. Or if you want to recompress concatenated file to get better compression, this is like a third level of compression. This one is one level and that one, but the file name sometimes has to be the same if you're using those as input or anything. And then again, with these commands, if you're just coming on the man pages, I'm showing you a lot of options here, as well as on the bottom, you can do man pages on all of them. Like we were looking at the zcat, you can just look at it on the website and just go to read it here. And then here you can scroll bar up and down. It's much easier. You don't need a Linux machine or a virtual machine or a Docker container or virtual box. All of this is just come into my website and I provide you that. Plus, if there's any Google banner or ads, you will see those ones as well. And then let's see, for the next one, we're going to discuss, we already discussed gzip, process tree. Process tree is to check on the process. So if you are running this one like PS $3 will show my process of my bash shell here. And then PS3 is the system D on process ID of 1. So you can run these commands. And again, if you're looking for the help on man pages, here you can just read the man pages as well. And that is also my program generated dynamically. What is nice about this one, and once you're here, if you like to say all of a sudden refresh your mind on the pgrep command, you just search that one and then you're on the man page here. And you say, oh, I'm writing a C program, I need to write, do the printf function of section 3, which is standard.io.h header file, the library standard.io, and this is the function. So if you're looking at, no, I need the printf version for section 1 of printf statement, which is the Linux command, you can just learn the Linux command syntax here. It's really neat. And if you say, how do I compile a GCC program or C++ program right here? And you could just read it and then understand it. It's about 400 some pages long, so it's really big. Sometimes we have it on PDF formats and different websites. Sometimes I'm doing it all in clear text for you, so you don't have to. You can even cut and paste some commands from here and it would work. And if you're on the server, you can do man GCC or man pwdx. It doesn't matter what command is. Similarly here, you can do that. So we were looking at the next example, which was, let's see, what I showed a lot more than just one. Yeah, PS3. So PS3, as we run it here, the same thing output here. If I run this one, say clear screen PS3 process 3.1, it will just show all the systems. And then if you say PS3, and then do a backtick ps-ef grep -i Apache 2, and then Apache 2, and then grep -v grep. That actually will not work because PS3 requires a process. So I have to exactly say awk and then print $2. This would just maybe work. No, I have to backtick it also here. Yeah, the backtick is not working. So on this example, let's see. On the example I want to do is PS3 and then Apache 2. Okay, PS3 system D. Yeah, it does not require that one. So it requires a specific process ID and there. So if I just look at the pgrep system D, I get the process. And pgrep Apache 2, I get the process. So then if I say PS3 on the output of pgrep Apache 2, then I could get the information, but in this case was not pgrep. So let me run it like this as a subshell. So the same thing as backtick. So the only way we could do that one is doing the Same thing that we did here, pgrep here, and then we say while read var, put it into a variable, do a looking on PID $var, and then now say run the date sleep like 2 seconds, and then I should have not sleep 2 seconds. I should have done a pstree first on $var, and then sleep to 1 second. I don't want to wait too long for it, and then done. Run the date command and then done. So now you see that it runs this one for each process. It finds out and run the pstree for it, and it tells you exactly what you are going to work on. So try to understand this while read syntax. It is so useful for a system admin level work. If you're a senior sysadmin, you want to do these things on the fly, because sometimes you're working on multiple servers and you just want to fix an issue, and it takes you like 2 minutes rather than somebody else takes 2 hours. So that's the beauty of being senior and doing things on the fly and taking care of it. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can figure out differently as you approach it. But normally you want to just be analyzing the problem first to make sure that you're causing on the root cause analysis, not just somewhere else that you're trying to create more work. Some people, they want to just back up something, and they just all of a sudden they say, let me remove these old data that are no longer needed, and then by accident they delete the backup script or something, and just it's not right to just work on a panic, not knowing what you're doing. And if you're a senior person, that's the chance that you could prove yourself that you know your stuff. And I'm sure you, by reading these videos and watching it and everything, you all will become a senior at some point if you're not senior already. pkill, pmap, gzip, pstree, we covered that one. Grep command. Grep is, we already covered. Grep is an egrep and fastgrep. I'm going to cover all of them fast here. And then as you can see here on the grep command, on the website, it's like man grep command. I could do a lot of the related things here. With the grep command, I could show you, like, for example, how I do the build-in of my program here. So for example, if I just even go on the fly here and just say grep -h command, and then let's do this, pgrep. So the command, this is generating the man pages, which I didn't provide any example here. Let's see if I did provide an example on the app-kit. Yeah, so this is just app-kit, pgrep, egrep. Egrep is also not having an example, and fastgrep. Okay, so I'm going to just do it on the terminal, and then later on I will just implement it on the website also, because otherwise this video is going to go too big if I just implement it on the website as well. Maybe I didn't do it before different security purposes on the website. So here, if I just clear my screen and then type in host name, I'm on this machine ID. Now, if I just say clear the screen and do ls -l, how about list store.html? I want to just see all the HTML file, right? So if I just look at all the HTML file, and then I say grep only the one that has a zpool. Notice that it is just getting that data. So let's just clear a screen, and I want to just get grep only zpool. But then in this case, I want to just say grep direct files. Now from that grep, I only picked up this. I could have just done this one. Also, I didn't need two piping here. If I was interested on I could have done that one. And then here, if I just was interested on a zpool, I could have just done that only to pick up that one. So grep is a global regular expression. I could do this, and then now if I just say, once you did that I'm only interested on zpool, and then it says, okay, now you're interested on zpool. Alias grep itself is a dash color. That means every time I search this one, it shows that what I'm grepping out. But then if I just do this, I don't need this because that's extra. I'm just grepping out what I'm looking for. So what if I just do grep -h? Notice that it will only show this line. And then that's a global regular expression. Or if I just did this one and then I say after first line was just showing, this one was only showing the grep zpool, and then if I just did -h, it will get this one. But if I just the -i to -v, it will show everything but the -h option, zpool -h. You see that there's a zpool -get-h, that those are showing, but not the one zpool and -h. So I'm gripping out that one. And then there's other type of grep command you can do also, which is called fast grep. Fast grep is I could do fgrep and then say let's say -data, and then notice that it's picking up all the area that it has that area, this. And then there's also egrep for expression grep. Expression grep, if I just want to do or fast or fixed, that's a fixed string that you're doing it. Because when you're doing the fgrep, notice that the fast grep, I did not put 3 W's. So it picked up exactly where I had it. If I wanted to change that one to, let me just look at the fast grep. Let me just do this. Fast grep -data. This one, notice that it only picks up this. The other ones are not. If I just change the fast grep to grep, then it's gonna just highlight more than just grep -i. Actually, it is gripping exactly what I'm needed on both cases, because I'm not interested on this other one. So the highlight, it doesn't show these ones. But let's just do a combination of more than just one. So I could say, show me this, and now pipe egrep, expression grep, whether it has the word may or the word let's say the word zpool -h. So the zpool -h has may twice. So that information is grepped out. Here is may, and then I was also interested on this, because that is showing that those strings or occurrence of it is where. And if I just add another string, say or, this dash, I mean the bar is the or statement. Either match may, zpool, or wahid. Wahid is not found, so it's not listed. But if I change, put another one, say let's say HTML. HTML, since it has all those 4 of them, the extension is HTML is there. And then now, I mean, I could do a lot of things with this one. If I just say awk print and $9, print out the file name, then I could just say, well, read var do, I could just say grep zpool -h.html, and I could put even that one into a variable, say variable is equal, and then run the backtick, run this command, and then this, and then say now say cat -n and zpool-h file name, which is $v, and then done. And that's the zpool-h file name. The content of it is cat. So if I just do the same thing with cat -n zpool-h zpool-h.html, it will just be 22 lines like it was there. So let's go to the next command. So we covered grep, egrep, and fgrep. The next command is set. Set is similar to env and print env and other commands that are just basically showing you the global and local variables. So if you're looking at a set, in addition to the global, it also shows you local variables. And as you can see, when you run the set command, it shows you a lot more than just global variables. Okay, so what is the difference between set and env or print env is that, and I just mentioned. So if I look at the clear the screen and say env, notice that this one, if I do a word count on it, it is maybe that much, and then look at the set. It is global as well as a local variable. And print env word count -l, it is also 25. So env, send it to a file env.txt, and then print env, send it to a file called print env.txt, and then set, send it to a file called set.txt. Now I created these files and these 3 files. So if I do ls -ltr in sorting order and reverse sorting order, and I say tail -5, the last 3 files are the file that I created. So I could just only do tail -3 and only saw that those 3. Now notice that env is smaller in size, the print env is smaller, and then the set is bigger. Obviously, there between env and print env, there's a little bit difference, 4 or 5 bytes different. But let's see if you do a def env.txt and print env.txt, it might not be exactly the same because they're not in sorting order. Actually, it is. The only difference is one is running user ben env, and the other one is using user ben print env for that variable of the underscore is equal. And then for the def between env and then set is so much. I'm going to do a 5 more. You can see env.txt, not env by itself. And then you can see there's so much, all the bash script and everything is there. Okay, so those are the set env and print env. And if you just look at the syntax, set env is basically to set the environment variables, and then and there's export also. If I'm on the C shell, for example, or through C shell, now I just changed my shell. If I exit out of this one, I say shell ps, and I'm on bash right now here, and this is my process ID. So if I say echo $$, that's going to show this process ID. Now, if I just do through C shell, and then now I'm on a C shell, I do through C shell. Now, if I say echo $$, it's showing the through C shell process ID, which is this one. To that one, it was the process ID of the bash, which was this one, right? So the same thing here. Now, if I just do through C shell set env, set env, this one give me a environment. In addition, I could say set env name is equal Wahidullah Lutfi. And then now the syntax, you cannot put equal sign. That takes it. Now echo $name is because I'm on a C shell, it is there. So I say set env number is equal 5555, and then I say echo $number, and then I could do this one and say set env favorite color is a dark green. So I could say echo $favorite color. So now if I just say echo hello, and then I just write here $name, your number was $number, and your favorite color was fave color. So you could do that one, and you could just see, hello Wahidullah Lutfi, your number was 555 and your favorite color was dark green. You could just write this one, but then as you manipulate the data, you're just doing this one. If I just exit out of the C shell and I say ps -f, in order to do the same thing, let's say I create a directory called environment variable called, I have to do, instead of set env, I have to do export. So I do export, and for example, welcome. I could just say welcome is welcome to MyWebUniversity free educational videos. So if I just put that welcome page and then I say echo $W, it is gonna say that one. But at the same time, I want to say another word, say export S for subscription, please, and don't forget to unsubscribe at our YouTube channel. So this is another message. And then now I say, what is the YouTube channel? I'm going to just put the URL, for example. Let's say, if we put the URL, I could grep it out from one of my home directory. So the URL, let's say grep -I URL from home wlutfi my banner.sh. Yeah, it is this URL. You see how useful grep is? I just picked it up here. And now if I just want to know exactly only this information, I don't need this export and other ones. I could just say, do this, and then cut minus a D, cut minus delimiter, quotation mark. So I'm going to put single quotation mark here and double quotation mark here, minus F1. But F1 will just give me that one. So I want F2. F2 will give me the actual URL here up to this. and then I want to just head of that one. The second line, I don't need the URL information. So say head -1. Now I have the thing. And then I could just put this one, this grep command that we learned today, we are making a use of it, and we're just creating a directory thing called a U for URL, because I created other ones as uppercase. I could just say the same thing here and just go back here and then just add the backtick here. Now echo $U has that information. Echo $W has $W is that one, and welcome, and $S was giving you the subscription. So if you put them together and say I'm gonna do a clear screen first. I'm gonna say echo $W, or I could say yeah, $W space, and then put a new line character here, and then I'm gonna do a echo minus n for just expression, so we could do the new line characters minus n, and then $S for subscription, and then another n, and then $U for URL, and then 2 lines n after that one. So we could just do that one. And notice is welcome to MyWebUniversity.com. The /n was not there because this one is -e, not -n. So it works like this. And notice that if I just do this command, sorry, right here, it will work. Welcome to my Web University free education videos. Please don't forget to subscribe at our YouTube channels, and it's gonna put that YouTube channel. And if you just cut and paste this one at browser, it is going to take you back to our YouTube channel, which is this page here. And then that we already opened it, but I'm going to open it again here to make sure that I'm not just giving the URL incorrect from the piping of grep and other ones. So this one is opening it up, and it's already open, and you can see it is on our YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed all the discussion. It is I'm trying to do as fast as I can, because sometimes when I have holidays or vacation, I want to make sure that I can help on the community and make these free videos that you all could enjoy and learn, and then help yourself by getting a better job, or enhance your career, or just do good at the school, or maybe if you're already advanced level, you could also, like me, could just have come up with some of these tools. There's a lot of people on the YouTube channels that they are providing these ones for free, and to just in order to help on the community, which is a novel thing to do. And you could also do the same thing. Please don't forget to subscribe again. Let me just make sure that I covered everything on this one. So setenv, and then services, we talked about it already. Services was on Red Hat 6 or higher, and then 7 up to 7 is a system D. Services was changed by system D on Red Hat 7, Linux 7, and Ubuntu higher version, like 16 and up. And then everything else is running with system D nowadays. So services commands, if you're on an old legacy system, please upgrade your system, or retire those servers that are on old hardware, or old operating system, or old application. Make sure that you upgrade it, because there's a lot of vulnerabilities, and sometimes the system that are old in terms of hardware is going to give you a headache every time you work on them and try to make sure that they're running smooth. It's a lot of slowness performance wise. So we covered on today's topic, on chapter 4, the third row, pkill through env, 11 of those commands with many examples. I hope you enjoyed it, and please go again on the website, subscribe so you can watch all of the channels. I'll post this video today. Today is 4th of July. Once again, happy 4th of July to you all. And freedom is the best we can have. Love and peace for all people, and free education for all people. That's what I look for. Take care. Have a good one. Bye. Again, just if you don't know my name, my name is Wahid Al-Lutfi, and I'm just making videos for you guys to learn. Stop recording. Yeah, I want to stop recording.